So something that I really love are these shags, right? Really makes me tick, really makes me happy in the salon is a shag. And I mean, what is a shag? We can think of what Kate did today on her model. That's kind of a shaggy look, you know, it's a bit layered, but it can be taken to a little bit more of extreme levels as well. So for Ashley, we have something super concaved out in the back and on the side. Look down just a little bit for me. You can see how well this kind of contours to her head shape. It accents everything really nicely. We used a few different techniques to do this, combining them together. It's all layering techniques. All it is layering, right? So we have a concave layer at the bottom, a layer that moves from short to long, right? That starts about the occipital area, mid-occipital. Then we switch to a convex layer through the top, a layer that follows the head shape. It follows round or convex, which gives us this really nice kind of question mark contour. And then we continue that convex through the side and concave going down. So it goes round here and then short to long here, which gives her this really fun kind of Joan Jett softness, rock and roll kind of movement, which totally works for her style. I mean, I took a lot of that into account looking at her. She is an aspiring hairdresser, incredible makeup artist and model, and she has been cutting on her own hair a little bit. And she kind of got it pretty good. I mean, there wasn't a terrible mullet that she cut, but that's what she wanted. She wanted to have something like a little bit mullety. So this spray bottle is giving me just one little mini spray that just goes forever and ever. But we'll just get this wet down, and then we can start working on her concave layers in the back. Yes, when we're layering hair, there's only a few different ways that we can layer hair, a few different shapes. We can layer something flat or square, meaning that we hold it square to the wall or flat to the wall. That's going to give you a lot of weight removal in the perimeter area, and it's going to kind of make things look flatter. That's why we call it a flat layer. I like to use like very self-explanatory terms and not try to name any techniques or to like get too, I don't know, to get too possessive over them. To say like, oh, I'm calling this layer the cutting corners JK layer, but it's really just a flat layer to the wall or whatever. That's happening a lot lately, you know? It's like, oh, these are baby lights, these are tween lights, these are adopted lights, which is the same thing as baby lights, I just like them a little less. And then it's like, what? Do we have to name these techniques, guys? They're all just, it's called a fine weave. Do you remember when there was a fine weave? I remember that. But anyway, okay, so what we're gonna do, we're starting off subsectioning this. Look down a little bit for me, Ashley. We're gonna split down the center. And then we're going to subsection again, right about at the occipital to behind the ear. You guys know those terms when I say occipital or parietal or nape? These are just like the bones of the head, and we use them as reference points to talk about the shapes that we're doing, which helps a lot in education. I think it's important to get to know those kind of things so that you're able to learn faster and basically work with like any company or any salon. So we're starting off down here from occipital down. I'm going to take a little bit of a guide from the other side. So for this, we are working kind of square. Everything's going to work square back. So rather than walking around with each section, I'm going to stay kind of planted square behind her. Using a guide from my right side, I'm going to take a bit of new hair from the left. We're going to work palm to palm on this. So my fingers come right behind my comb here. And then I'm going to lift my hand, looking for my guideline on the opposite side. And then we're going to cut concave, so we're moving short to long. Fingers are right behind the comb. The comb should be like a level. That helps you find the line that you want to cut. And then I'm placing my scissor on my fingers, right? And working out. As long as your angle is right of your scissor, you're never going to cut yourself like that. And it's imperative that you learn to do that if you want to be a precision hair cutter, just because it's going to allow you to cut straighter lines and have more consistency. So again, we're taking a guide from our previous section. Our fingers come right behind the comb. I'm coming out until I find the line that I want to cut. My fingers rest right, or my scissor rests right on my fingers, and we're working short to long, right? Continuing to elevate. I'm only cutting to my second knuckle because I will lose a bit of tension past my second knuckle and I'll start to get a little bit less accurate. All right, so while I continue working through these sections, we're talked a lot about haircutting so far, but I want to bring out one of my favorite hair colorists in the world. Her name is Amelia Fugit. She is my soon-to-be sister-in-law and one of the stylists and fellow educators in my salon. So we'll bring her out. She's going to talk to you guys a little bit about hair colors today, too. Let's give Amelia a round of applause. You can see her before on my page as well if you want to see what this girl's hair looked like before Amelia did her color.
Can y'all hear me? Yeah, okay. Hi, as he said, my name is Amelia Fugit. It will be Amelia Khan soon because I'm marrying Jake's brother, and that's how you guys get job security, in case you were wondering. Just marry your boss's brother. It works like a charm. So for today, I love blonding. I do a ton of lightening services in the salon. I love to keep people super, super bright. For her, I'm all about using low volumes on previously lightened hair. That is so important, you guys. So for her hair, I looked at her Instagram, stalked her as a model. She's obviously beautiful. For her color, on the surface, it looked nice. Once I started getting in there, there was a lot of bands of some permanent lowlights on top of very blonde hair. So you want to make sure you're using a bond builder, a low volume, so you do not cause any further damage on that pre-lightened hair. And then I was weaving out the lowlights and using something a little bit stronger on those just to bump them up. And then I used A5 from Joico Lumishine, blended into V9 with clear. And as you can see, it gave her a nice like ash blonde vibe. Something I struggled with for a very long time was figuring out how to do this like little bit brighter, bolder money piece that like everyone's asking for in the salon. And the way I like to achieve it is everything's backcombed on her head besides her hairline. I actually do very, very thin, and I mean thin slices, you guys. Don't go on your clients and start taking some thick, bold, stripy pieces. Thin little baby hairs, so it blends out into those backcomb pieces and just creates a really nice diffusion. I love backcombing not just because it's going to go ahead and create that effortless seam and that beautiful blend everyone wants, but it's also going to help push away shorter broken hairs up and out of my way so I don't have to re-hit them with lightener. So I especially love doing this technique on someone who is like super over highlighted, only because those little broken hairs that tend to be the lightest, you'll see if you go to my story, you'll see them be pushed completely up and out of the way, and I'm only left dealing with the darker pieces. So yeah, I love doing a lot of blondes. If you go to my page, I also run a page called Process Perfect. Does anybody know Process Perfect? Yeah! Woo! Okay, so I'm all about processing shots and like working and doing very clean work. You know, I'm like, get you a girl that can do you both, because sometimes my foils look sloppy, I'm not gonna lie. But make sure you have that skill to do very like crisp. I mean, like I love, do you guys follow Michael Black at all? He is an amazing, yes. You know, like my girls who know processing pictures, like I love some clean balayage, so tag me in your stuff on Process Perfect. And if you guys want to see more of my work and see behind the scenes of her before, the technique I used on her, how I was weaving out the low lights and backcombing and everything, it's all on my story at Amelia Hair Makeup. So, yeah.
Perfect. Thanks.